I just want you to kind of consider that as we're giving our opinions about these biblically based, loosely based shows and things. When I was growing up, my grandmother used to always say, only what you do for Christ will last.
Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Quay. Welcome back to the Heaven in Mind channel, where we imagine, inquire, and investigate topics around heaven, Jesus, and real life in Him.
Hey y'all, so a lot of people give shows like The Chosen and House of David and other biblically based shows a lot of criticism and critique for what they feel is biblical inaccuracy or for taking creative liberties. And one of the things that I think that people really don't understand sometimes is that in the life of a believer, sometimes there are just seasons in our lives where nothing else is worth the effort. Like if I'm going to make $1 million production, I want it to somehow point to God. If I'm going to spend time training vocally and overcoming laryngitis and being hoarse all the time and preparing to sing every day, for some believers, it's not worth it if it somehow is not delivering people, uplifting people, encouraging people, and ultimately preparing people for the presence of God. If I'm going to have my little small piece of YouTube or the internet or Instagram or Facebook and kind of have this crazy channel, to me, it's not worth the effort of uploading videos, editing videos, recording videos, doing descriptions for videos and all of that if I don't have the joy of talking about Jesus. Now, that's not everybody's conviction. That's not everybody's calling. That's not everybody's belief. But one of the things that I do think that we're missing sometimes, especially in the Christian community, is the fact that God made us creative, right? In the beginning, God created the first thing that He did. And so for a lot of us as creators, sometimes in the life of a believer, it's just not worth the effort to do anything else, right? They're not trying to lead people astray. Are they trying to make a movie or a show that's like step by step, verse by verse of the Bible? No, we have the Bible, read it. But if it comes down to, I have an opportunity to create a project, sometimes in the life of a believer, it's not worth the effort if it somehow, some way, does not give glory or point back to God. And I think that's the piece that we're missing in the critiques of some of these shows. When I was growing up, my grandmother used to always say, only what you do for Christ will last. And so if you're going to spend your time, if I'm going to spend my time doing things and creating things and putting effort towards things, I want it to be for Christ. One, because I want it to last, and two, because I want it to have impact. And number three, there's nothing else that's worth it. And so then when we unfairly critique shows that take these creative liberties to bring life and to bring edification to the body and to point people to the Bible to check it for themselves, when it points people to Jesus and His humanity, when it points people to the complexities of the disciples and the backstories that a lot of times we don't ever even think about, sometimes that's the only thing that's worth the effort. And so when it comes down to these directors and these writers and these producers and all of those kinds of people that come together and they take the heat and the hit for the fact that they're just trying to use their creative gifts to honor God in some way and not verse by verse, line by line, exegete text in the Bible. I mean, I just think it's unfair. And that's something that I think we need to be more mindful of. And maybe I'm by myself, but I just feel like there are times in the life of a believer where nothing else is worth the effort. Nothing else matters. Nothing else can compare to the journey that God takes you on to do it, to the weight and the cross that you have to bear to do it, to the sacrifices that you make for it, to how God grows you through it, and the impact that God brings about because you were obedient to doing it. Nothing else beats that. And that sometimes in the life of a believer is the only thing that's worth the effort. So, I mean, I just want you to kind of consider that as we're, giving our opinions about these different shows and things, because it really has been impactful. I've enjoyed The Chosen, watched House of David, enjoyed that as well. I mean, and it's inspiring in a lot of different ways. And I think that the work that they're doing is good. And I also understand, as a creative myself, sometimes other things just aren't even worth the effort. So I hope they continue to do that. And I hope, younger creators will come behind them and do that same kind of thing. But we can be a little bit more gentle in our critique of Christian media, because, like I said, sometimes nothing else matters as much, and it's just not worth the effort.